people, you need to provide me any good reason why. Otherwise, you have more people than you set out the LLC. You set out limited liability company. Okay? So, I answer your questions, right? Next one is for the mortgage. Okay. You all know one benefit to invest your money into the real estate market is you can always borrow the money out. You can always borrow your money out, right? So let's talk about the mortgage issue. Okay. To run your business, as I said, you need to balance your cash flow. So cash management is big issue. Eventually, cash management by itself, it is one course. It's one semester course. So we cannot talk about that. All right. So if your business in the future invest cash into the real estate market, but for some reason you need to use money. You need to use money. Okay. You can consider, okay, two methods. One is by the time you purchase the real estate, you apply for the loan. This is a very common practice. Or you put all cash into, is a cash deal. However, down the road you get a refinance. Either way, all right. So let's talk about the real estate finance. For some reason, I don't know why, okay, people in this area has a misunderstanding, okay, very common misunderstanding. I always been told by my client, say, didn't I give my grantee to the bank who loaned me the money? You've been asked these questions, or is this a misconception also in your mind? People always told me, say, didn't I give away my grantee to the bank already upon the time I borrowed the money from them? Right? People always say, no, I don't have grantee because I remember I have given the grantee to the bank already. That is not true. That is totally wrong. Okay, totally wrong. It is not the practice in the California. Okay, when people borrow the money from the bank, even you have the mortgage, that means you already say guarantee the payment with your property already. You don't give the grantee to the bank. The grantee is still there. Okay, that really means you are still free. You are still free to sell your property to anybody else. Of course, upon one condition, right? You need to pay off the debt. So let's talk about what is the practice. Okay. So for example, just give you one idea. Okay, say March 5th. I just make up the date. 2010. Okay, your company or your business invest 30,000 cash into a real estate property. Okay, doesn't matter if it's a residence or it's an office whatsoever. Okay, and today for some reason you want to cash out. Okay, you need to get money to do more investment. So right now you need today you need to raise 100,000. So you consider to borrow the loan from the bank, and you have for example, by the way, during the past 2 years, you know what? What happened during the past 2 years in this area? Real estate market, what happened? We talk about real estate market compared to 2 years ago. 2010 to today. You read the newspaper? I would say increase at least 20%. At least 20% to 30%. All right. So if 20%, we are talking about probably you have 360,000 value already in this area. Okay. It really depends on which area. Okay. In Palo Alto, it's probably is 40% already. All right. So in the past 2 years, the value went up already. So usually the bank, they use the current value to give you 70%. That is not surprise, okay? So if we figure out today's value, 360, can you give me a very quick calculation? What's the 70% of 360? 200 something, right? Probably, right? So the bank can easily approve 250,000 cash to you. And another news, if you read the news, the value of the real estate property in Bay Area goes up, what goes down? Interest rate. Interest rate. This is very, very strange thing. Very, very interesting. The value goes up, the interest rate going down in the past 2 years. And right now, if you use this house as collateral to borrow the money, roughly speaking, is 3.5% fixed rate. 3.5% fixed rate. And if your company need $100,000, easily you get approved, easily. All right. So let's talk about what happened. Okay. In the real estate finance market, okay, usually 70% loan is very, very easy. And then we use your real property as a collateral to borrow the money. So what's collateral mean? Anybody know?
It's what you get in return, like in exchange.
Mm-hmm. For what?
You default.
If you default, then the bank come in to sell the property. That's called collateral. Okay. So let's give you the idea why. So give you a little bit terminology. This is a very general term, right? Mortgage. That means you borrow the money from the bank and you use your real property as a collateral, right? However, in California, there is no mortgage. Even though we say mortgage every day, but in California there is no mortgage. So very surprised, right? In California we use this. So this is the reason why people got confused. Grantee mixed with deed of trust. Deed of trust is the legal document you as a borrower sign off and give away to the bank. So you give away deed of trust, you did not give away grantee.
So the grantee is what buyer gets.
That's correct.
Okay.
Buyer means you are the buyer, you are the owner. Whoever hold the grantee, that is the current owner. Okay. So as a current owner, you always keep your grantee in your hand. Even if you got lost, don't get panic. You just go to the county and get a copy. That'll be fine. Okay. So when you borrow the money, you did not give away your grantee. Instead of you giving away the deed of trust.
So isn't there a charge when you get a copy from the
Oh yeah,
company?
$15. Always, and the price going up every year. You know. Every time I go there to file something, I say, wow, price went up again. Okay, here we have 3 people here. there are three parties under deed or trust. Too bad we don't have a final exam. Huh? Otherwise, I'll test you. Otherwise, I'll test you who is who. Okay? It's very confused. Okay? It's very good questions for the final exam, but too bad we don't have that. Okay, trustor is the borrower. It's you. It's the owner. Okay, trustor is the owner who sign on the deed. Okay, and give away. And the trustee is the person or the company assigned or appointed by the bank. Okay, so usually in California, in this area, could be the title company. Could be the title company. That company arrange the whole loan process or title transfer. But not necessary, okay? Could be any person age more than 18 years old or any corporation. But more commonly in this area is title company or escrow company. Beneficiary is the lender. Whenever the bank loans you the money, that is beneficiary. Got it? So once you borrow the money from the bank, there will be two scenarios. More commonly is borrow, you pay off on time. You pay your payment on time. So by the day the loan is mature, then you pay off already, right? So more commonly, the loan is being paid off. If that happens, trustee will sign off another document called the conveyance deed. Convey. Okay. If the loan has been paid off, then as a borrower, you are the borrower, you are expected to receive conveyance deed, which is signed by trustee to prove the loan being paid off already. All right? This is scenario number one, and as I say, it's more commonly. Or this loan got default, and default was very, very common in the past few years. And I was told, okay, in Florida, okay, in the state of Florida, throughout the state, the real estate market default. You cannot imagine it. And eventually, in the booming years, if you still remember, say 2006, 2005, if you talk about with your friends, a lot of your friends, even including yourself, went to Florida. And Orlando is a good area, right? And invest a condo or single family home. Then you hire the local manager to arrange the rental for you. And during the years, eventually, it was very good investment because the average price is like a 200 something. I mean 200,000. Okay? 200,000. You can purchase very beautiful luxury condominium or single family home, and the returns are very good because in Orlando area is very good the tourist destination. But all of a sudden, after 2007, the whole thing crashed, right? And for no reason, people just don't go there, and the house is vacant, and then you don't have any income. Then you stop the payment, and then the house been foreclosed. Right? In California, it's not that bad, but still worse, right? If you heard about the story in Tracy, in this area, in Tracy, in Albany, right, along the Freeway 4, along the bus station, Albany, Pittsburgh, the areas this got very, very hot heat, and the price all the way from the average like 400,000 to like 150. 150. It's more than 50%. You can't imagine. So people just walk away. People just walk away. So if the default already happened, again, trustee come in. Trustee come in to do the trustee sales in California. Trustee is called, foreclosure. So did I tell you before? Every day, Monday to Friday, every day 10 o'clock, you just go to each superior court and people gathering there and doing what? Bid trustee sales. All right. So this is how the mortgage works. So I think most of you, this is not new for you. You borrow the money either to purchase your house or you get the refinance. I think right now the refinance market is still very, very hot. And either yourself in this market or your friend as a real estate broker try to, mortgage broker try to approach you and give you the news, say the rate drop again, do you want to get a refinance and no any fee, and I can help you to lower your monthly payment by $100, and you may say yes. This is how the real estate finance market works. Okay, next, how many different types of real estate? Let's talk about that. We have two major categories. Okay, number one, residential. Number two, commercial. I leave the land alone. Okay? I don't want to talk about the land because invest in vacant land is very unique. Okay? Usually, as a business, probably you will not consider it because invest into the land. Your goal is to see the appreciation because there's no income. So I will leave that alone. There were two major. So here you can consider single family residence or number two, condo. Number three, PUD. Number four, multiple unit. Again, too bad we don't have final exam, otherwise I can test you. Yeah. Okay. We have about 6 different types for residential. Compare residential to commercial, okay? I highly recommend. It's a small investor, okay? When I say small investor, mean under 2 million, 3 million dollar value, okay? I highly recommend you put your money into the residential and try to stay away commercial. I will tell you why. For commercial, you can have office or you can have a hotel or apartment or winery. More and more popular. People come in California for the winery.
So the hotel is it including timeshare?
Including
I'm sorry, timeshare is the residential.
temperature here, right? Yeah, it's very blurred, but I will tell you why. Recently, I see more and more people from overseas coming to invest to hotel, especially from Asian country. They put the money in and compare the price here with the Asian market. The price here is a lot cheaper, and also the return rate is much higher than in the Asian market. So let's talk about residential. Okay, so if you are small investor, I say small mean the dollar amount is under like $3 million cash. Okay, if you have $3 million cash, roughly you can purchase probably around $5 million value. All right, so well, $5 million is not too much in California. I just read Facebook from my friend yesterday. Eventually, she's our student here. She just leased one single family home last week in Palo Alto, and just regular. Okay, it's like a 2,500 square footage, brand new, and the lot is about 6,000 square feet. Of course, Palo Alto High School, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2-story, 2-car garage, very regular. Okay, she listed it as a 2.75. Million, okay, 2.75, and multiple offer coming in, sold 3.25. So listed 2.75, sold 3.25. That means almost like a $500,000 higher, $500,000 higher than the listing price. So you can imagine, in Peninsula, in Bay Area, $5 million is almost nothing. All right. So if people come in, you can imagine, those people just use a stock, right? Those people, the money is not really how money they earn. The money eventually is the paper they print, right? Print from printer is a stock, right? And then they have good luck, they IPO, so they just use the stock to trade a home. So in Peninsula, $5 million is almost nothing. Okay, so for small investor, I highly recommend you put the money into this area. But what's the difference? Single family residence, just the thing I just talked about, right? You own a lot, a land, right? Then you have your building, and then you don't need to. Usually there is no community regulation. You just abide the law, everything you just abide the law to the city or to the county. So if in the future you want to rebuild your house, you want to expand, you don't deal with your neighborhood. You deal with city. And the city planning department may call out the meeting, the public hearing, ask your neighbor come in to present their idea, but usually they only present the idea, and the final decision is made by the city. So this is how single family home is. Usually in Bay Area or throughout the state, single family residence is the majority usually. Okay, and compared to the condo we just mentioned, condo mean there are two major type condo. One is in downtown, you see. When you come into the downtown, you see the high rise, right? Right, very luxury, the new building, the high rise, like 20 stories, right? And that is one type condo. And that is eventually is more like in Asia, in Manhattan, in big metropolitan downtown area. And you see this. And in San Jose downtown, I see the price probably still around like 400,000, still affordable. But if you go to San Francisco downtown, it's way high. And I just help my client in, I forgot the name. Just if you ride into the San Francisco downtown, what's the name of the street? Maybe you are more familiar with the downtown, right? It's of course it's not Market. It's 2 or 3 blocks from Market. Huh? Oh, yeah. What's the name?
Harrison?
Harrison. What's the name? What's the other one next to Harrison? Fallen or? There's one high building. Eventually, a lot of new building there. Fosen, right? Yeah, Fosen. Eventually, this is called the South of Market, right? SOMA. Did you call Soma, right? Did you say Soma? Soma area. You say South of Market area. Soma area is a walking distance to the Giants studio. So it's it was very bad area before. 10 years ago, it's very bad. But the developer coming in to tear down the old building, and you see the new building one by one. So it's called Soma, alright? And in that area, you cannot imagine the price is way high. Very high. For eventually attract the new generation. The young generation just love the area.
Because there is like the art area.
Yeah, it's artistic, right? Artistic. And eventually, before the stock market crashed by year 2000, it was the very famous internet area. It was very famous website area company. So the area we eventually was renovated, totally renovated. So when I say condo, there are two different kinds. There's one high-rise, very luxury condo, okay, in downtown area, or totally opposite, like a 2-story, 3-story, and when people purchase condo, you only purchase the unit you live in, and then the other area is called common area, just the area you mentioned, including the private room, probably the swimming pool, clubhouse, So this is a condominium, and the good thing is you own the unit, okay? You own the unit, and also you can get a loan. Because usually bank, they provide condominium loan. So they really mean even though you don't own any portion of the land, you don't, because for the whole land, for the whole area, you are the co-owner. Probably you are 1/100. Okay, very little interest. Okay, but the good thing is you can get a loan.
Yeah, like back to that question, like you mentioned it's meant like part A and part B, they both pay tax. So for the condominium, like the common area, you pay the tax cost for that part?
Yes, very good questions. She asked, if you purchase a condominium, how do you pay tax for the common area? How do you do that, right? Right, it's divided. Because for the condominium, you pay your own tax for the unit you live in, and for the common area and the HOA, okay, the homeowner association, they're gonna divide it. They're gonna give you the bill. And they may include, could be the monthly payment. They divide it to the monthly, so you just pay. It's not cheap, okay? If you purchase the very luxury condo in downtown area, okay, in addition to your monthly mortgage, probably you pay up to like almost like 1,000, even 2,000 just for the monthly. So your monthly payment is sometimes more than the rent. Yeah. I'm little bit exaggerated, but it's very large amount common area to maintain it. Okay. What's a PUD? This is you, okay? Public unit development, okay, or plan, okay. PUD is more like a townhouse. You own the building and you own the land below it. Alright? So compared to condo, you don't own any portion of the land. But for PUD, you own the building, you also own the land below it. However, you don't have such right to do whatever you want. So even though you own the building, also own the land below it, however, you still belong to the HOA. So everything you want to do, any change, renovation, okay, rebuild a house, you need to get approval from your neighbor first. Okay, so this is a major difference. Sometimes you go to the PUD, you look at the property, is almost exactly as same as a single family home. However, when you read the title report, okay, and then it will tell you this is not real, the single family home. This is called PUD. Then you have so much burden to follow up. All right. So usually, how can you tell the difference between the single family home compared to PUD? There's one way to tell. Okay, even though you see the house is separate, each by each, no connect to each other. However, if the land is smaller than like a 3,000 square footage, so probably it is PUD. By the way, this is very confused, okay? Very confused. When I say 3,000 square footage for each lot, I really mean in suburban area, in this area. If 3,000 square footage in San Francisco downtown is large piece, in San Francisco it's totally opposite, okay? In San Francisco, even though you see the Sunset District, you see, you know, right, each connect to each other, right? Each connect to each other, but they are single family home. They are. And opposite in urban, suburban area, even though you see the home is singly by each other, do not connect to each other, they may be considered as a PUD. So when I said single family home or PUD, really means suburban. In San Francisco, it's totally opposite. Totally opposite. San Francisco, when we say single family home, but they connect to each other, and the lot is about like 2,500 is large enough. Okay. Multi-units. Usually, when I say multi-unit, mean including 4 units or under 4. So heard about that? 4plex, right? So you have a single family home, you have a condo, you have PUD. They are all considered as a 1 unit, right? But once in a while you heard about duplex, triplex, and maximum up to 4plex. So this is a very good for investment, all right? Because you put in the same amount of money, and multiple units can give you more return. More return. Let me give you one idea, okay? If you spend $1 million in this area, okay? $1 million, probably you can purchase one very good condition single family home. If you rent it out, probably it may give you $4,000 monthly gross income. So 4,000, 12 months, so almost like 50,000. So you can consider probably deduct your property tax, probably between 3.5 or 4% return. Okay, after tax, after maintenance. So if you invest $1 million, same amount of money into